Hey, I told you I'll deliver. Hey, I'm uploaded today. Yeah, I look like a fucking mess. When I'll ever look like a mess? I always look like a mess. Anyways, I'm gonna stop stalling. Here's the video. Hey, you know what's crazy? Everyone's birthday is this year, man. Oh shit! Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Pickle Jar podcast, guys. It's your boy TrumpetierJon, and our lovely guests. We got Barnabas McDickcheese. Say hello.
Hi.
We got Joe Mama. Say hi.
My mom.
Okay. Okay, that's great. And we got Papa. Say hi, Papa.
Hello.
And we got Tom Cruise.
Taxation is theft.
And today we're joined with God damn it. And today we're joined with special guest named SoundWeebJay. I will welcome SoundWeebJay. Welcome to our somewhat of a podcast.
Hello.
Man.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, not a problem. It's great to have more guests on here. We love bringing new people up on the show.
Fantastic.
I am glad you are part of this podcast. You know, it really is an honor to have you here. So,
I'm really excited.
Okay. So, Barnabas, do you got any to ask?
Yes. Well, first of all, I was watching your YouTube channel this past week, and I just gotta say, I am very impressed. I love the way you edit things. I love your sound. When I was watching your when you like metal but play clarinet video, the way you made the clarinet sound like an electric guitar, that just blew my mind.
Thank you so much.
Oh, not a problem. I just have to say, how do you do it?
Okay. Man, where to start? Let's see. So, to make it long explanation short, basically. I recorded prior the clarinet parts into Pro Tools, and then from there I literally just took a plug-in amp simulator and just threw it on top of my tracks, and that it kind of emulates this weird electric guitar-ish sound, but not quite. And I was just really happy about it because I was like, this sounds really wild, dude. So I was really excited about it. It came out really interestingly. So. That's kind of the gist of how that happened.
Okay, awesome. Well, glad to hear that. By all means, gosh, I lost my train of thought. Well, does anyone have anything to jump in on that?
I actually kind of want to ask Jay, how did you what's your background? Tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you start, learning clarinet, and what inspired you to pursue sound engineering?
Oh man, let's see. So I've basically played clarinet since middle school. Yeah, middle school. It was it's been 8 years now or so. And it was it's just a simple thing. Started in middle school, went through high school, and then I really just kind of it's just a hobby. I just enjoy playing the instrument. And then I can't remember what exactly brought it about. I remember my senior year of high school, I was getting ready. It was 2016, right? I was getting ready to head out somewhere for college. I didn't really know where I wanted to go. And then I literally, on Facebook, I saw an ad for Full Sail University. And it's a technical recording school that basically focuses on lots of recording aspects and mixing and all that kind of jazz. So I saw the ad and I was like, yo, that looks really awesome. And at the time I was actually working on trying to make a band.
Oh, sweet.
And I play drum set as well sometimes. And I was like, yo, I was like, I want to learn how to mix and stuff. So that way, a stupid dream, but I was like, that way, future, I can get really good at mixing, and I don't have to pay people to do my mixing.
That's a mood.
I know that feeling.
At the time, it was a really awesome idea in my head, but then like, I'll get to that later. Anyway, so that is what I was like. This sounds great. So we called up the school and got all the information on the campus and all that good jazz. The Full Sail is in Florida. It's close to Orlando, right? Mm-hmm. And so then from there, I went to Full Sail and studied recording arts, which is my bachelor's degree I have in recording arts. And it's just basically like the concept of recording overall and just like knowing the ins and outs of how to work audio gear and stuff. So it wasn't just a focus on like, this is how you record and mix a song. It was like, here's how you record and mix a song. Oh, and like, here's how you do audio for film, and here's how you do audio for video games, and like all the wild around knowledge. So like, I could basically do anything that I want to do, but my primary focus is I like to do sound for like animation and film. Mostly animation, as you can see the title of my name. I enjoy anime very much, so I'm constantly like analyzing sound design and things of that nature, and want to do that. For clarinet, what happened in college was Full Sail didn't have like a band program or anything of that nature, and I didn't want to put down the instrument because I actually really love playing it. It's not like my passion in life, but I really like playing it. And so I remember seeing at the time Smooth McGroove.
Yes.
Very big on YouTube.
Yeah,
And I love his covers so much.
Jesus.
Absolutely, yes. And I was like, yo, that's wild. And like all the other guys like Rashad EB and I think his name's Toxic Eternity, doing all like the metal covers and stuff. And I was like, this is wild. I love this. And so I was like, let me do that with clarinet. And I'm kind of going all over the place. My apologies. But
No, you're good.
just prior to that, I had played in I already told John this, but just prior to that, I had been playing in Shrek the Musical at my pit orchestra in high school.
Nice.
And for the pit orchestra, they needed someone to play bass clarinet, and I'd never played it before, and I was like, heck yeah, I want to play bass clarinet. And so right after that, I decided, even though I sounded really bad in the pit, I decided I wanted to buy a bass clarinet. So I went on eBay, bought like a really crappy $400 bass clarinet, and since then I've been doing video game covers on YouTube. And occasionally I kind of switch it up. Right now I'm trying to move into doing more of like more just general sound design things, but it's kind of a big shift to make. So more on that in the future.
Damn.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I actually have a little bit of musical experience myself. The high school I was student teaching at actually did a musical of the Addams Family, and I was in the pit orchestra on tenor sax. So I was reading out of the reed book.
It's awesome.
There were some parts I had to transcribe, but overall it was a very fun experience. So yeah, it's great that you have like a very, a pretty all around music background. And on clarinet, like same thing with Barney, like your tone sounds great even on the bass clarinet. Like I was just very impressed how well you blended the sound like all together, and you seem to have a very wide collection of percussion instruments as well.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I kind of just, it's so funny because I don't really play percussion. The only percussive instrument I really know how to play is drum set. But I picked up at one point, I don't even remember what was the first one I got. I think the first one I got was the egg shaker, and I was like, oh heck yeah, I'm gonna use the egg shaker. And then I got a tambourine, and that was when I made the Me channel cover.
That one I
Yes.
saw. I remember you just like I remember you putting the tambourine like in the middle, and then you just have to have your hand right there. Just I thought that was really clever.
It's really silly because I'm like, I have no prior knowledge of percussion instruments, but I just want to make a funny video. So like, I did that, and then shortly afterwards, I went on Sweetwater and bought a cajon, and that is probably one of my favorites so far. I use it in some of my recent covers, but it's always a fun time trying to figure out what percussion instruments to blend with clarinet, because it's like it's a wind instrument, so like you don't expect someone to sit in front of a camera with a wind instrument and like the drum set at the same time. Like at first glance, that sounds really weird, but I think I've done a pretty decent job of making it blend. So
absolutely. if there's any instruments that we haven't seen, what do you think is the strangest instrument you own?
Oh my goodness. I haven't seen. Let's see. That's a tough one. Because I primarily play clarinet and bass. I'll just kind of list off what I have in the apartment,
Okay.
and
Cool.
I don't really play all of them, but so I've got obviously clarinet, bass. I play drum set. I have an oboe, but I have never played it because I bought it. I bought it on I think it was Amazon for like $300, and it just sounds atrocious. I'm so bad at playing oboe. It is such a hard wind instrument to learn. So I started playing and like I practiced for a week straight, and I was like, no, this sounds awful. I'm done. I cannot. So it got zipped up in the case, and I've never touched it.
Do you sound like it sounds like a duck when you play it, huh?
It sounds like I'm a dying goose, dude. It's awful. One day maybe I'll play and send it to you and just show you how bad I am. Let's see. I have. Yeah, I mean, really, that's about it. I mean, I've got multiple guitars, but I don't play them because I'm not good at guitar. I had a keyboard, but it's currently lent to a friend of mine.
Gotcha.
I had a kazoo at one point.
Oh, dude, that's
but
essential
I've
to
never used it in
have.
the video, so I don't think it counts.
I mean, sometimes it can be.
I suppose.
I mean, hey, I bought a kazoo for. Actually, no, I got it at Dave and Buster's one time because I had enough tickets for it, and then I just said, hey, I'm walking on with the kazoo that day, and so I did, and the whole car ride back, I played nothing but that kazoo.
I remember.
Was
I
that
remember.
was that TMEA that we did that, or that you got that, or what?
Yes, it was. Yes,
Yep.
it was. But I can tell you for one thing, you can never go wrong with a little bit of kazoo. There's a little bit of pizzazz. You can really throw someone off their normal jam. You know what I mean? Just by throwing a little bit of kazoo in there, and they're like, "What the fuck was that? Is that a kazoo?" And you're like, "You're damn right, that was a kazoo."
That's so great. I love that. Yes.
What's it called? I guess, like, for me, like, the strangest instruments I own, okay, there's a tie for two of them. Because one, I own an Iwi. And,
Oh yeah, I love those.
and number two, I own a didgeridoo pitched to E flat.
Do you?
Yeah, like, it's actually sitting right next to me.
It's so fun to play.
Can you take requests?
More like a didgeridoo.
Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can.
Just gotta take it out of your ass for a second.
It's still.
Meanwhile,
I bet
he's
it's
got-
still sitting on the corner by the keyboard.
And you'd
Yes,
be
it is,
right.
actually.
Oh my god.
Every time I hear his didgeridoo, it reminds me of that episode of The Simpsons where they go to Australia.
Oh,
Or that one episode of what's it called? That one episode of SpongeBob where it's like, "Hi, didgeridoo player in a frickin' marching band."
Yeah.
Yes.
How are you gonna march didgeridoo? Whenever they say horns to the box, how do they expect you to do that?
they deep throat the fucking
I don't know.
didgeridoo and just put it in the box.
That's the sound that comes out of it.
God, I
that's the
felt
sound
that
that
in my
comes-
ears.
That's just a sound you're supposed to make when it comes out of it. All right, now horns to the box, didgeridoo. I don't want to see any slack coming out of you. Yes, sir. You know, it's like, all right.
Disgusting.
Hey Jay, I got a question for you.
That's how you know you're doing it right. That sound's supposed to come out.
I got a question. So like, I
Yes.
saw like your a bridge series and holy shit, like oh my god, 10 out of 10. So like, what inspired you to voice act? Because
Oh man.
it sounds good.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go
Because
ahead.
like
Finish up your.
because just like the way you use design the sound and also like put your voice acting to work. Because I've seen like a lot of improvement from your Undertales upgrade series, and then from now,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it just slightly like improved. Do you like take lessons or you just practice on your own?
No, yeah. So to be honest with you, voice acting is not a thing that I ever thought I would ever do. it just happens to kind of come with the territory of knowing how to record vocals.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, as you mentioned, in the past I made a really garbage Undertale abridged, and actually it's still in progress. Believe it or not, I have the audio for episode 6 still in my computer somewhere. There's some lines that need redone. Point is, it's bad, right? Like, especially the first couple episodes. It progresses, gets a little better. It's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
I won't talk about that, but it kind of. Yeah, I mean, it really stemmed from wanting something to do in my free time when I was in college, because I was always doing like mixing projects from school or like school assignments, and I was like, I want something fun to do. And at the time, I was with a group that I will not name because they do not exist anymore. But I was with a group of people that were trying to make an animated series, and I was like, yo, I'm down to help with music, sound, whatever. And then it kind of evolved into needing voice actors. And I was like, okay, I'll voice act. And then from there, to answer your other part of your question about whether or not I learn or just am taught or have self-teaching, it's all like self-teaching. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even really like practice very much. I've just done a lot of like video research and like learning about how to better perform, like what kind of things you should try doing.
Yeah.
I won't get too in depth, but a quick example is like a lot of people are really bad at shouting in voice acting. Like they're too afraid to like project.
Shout, yeah.
And that is the biggest thing. One of the biggest things that's like in terms of voice acting, you have to learn
how to shout,
how to in general, just how to project and how to put yourself out there rather than feeling like you're too confined or afraid to act. You know what I mean? And I won't say I'm amazing at it, but I did get quite a few comments about that parody specifically, where people were like, "Yo, you're so good! Like, go do something."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Calm down, it's chill out, it's fine." But like,
like
in terms of the parody, I was like, I just want to do something finally with sound. So it was a good way to like showcase, one, the fact that I like to do voice acting, two, the sound process in general, and three, like it was so much fun to do that I was like, let's just do it, and I did. So
yeah, man, like it, yeah, because when I followed it, it did sound like you really had fun with it. Personally, like I always want to do voice acting, because I think it's fun. Because me and my friends like dick around because we make like stupid ass jokes because we like try to imitate voices. Like our good friend here, Barnabas, is a very good Joel Swanson impersonator.
I would say it's that good, but it's an attempt. I like to think.
Show us.
It kind of.
Yeah,
all right,
give a demonstration.
All right. Well, I actually had a list of some questions I was gonna do, but I'll just ask one of them in the voice. How's that? Oatmeal. I gotta ask you, what the fuck is oatmeal? Is it cereal or is it soup? I'm quite confused because I'm in this damn wheelchair all day, and Bonnie over there, she won't clean out my I call it the poop sack. She doesn't really change it all that much. And anyway, oatmeal. That's what's in my poop sack right now. It feels exactly like oatmeal.
no.
So what is it, cereal or is it soup?
I hate that. It's so good.
Oh, thank you.
Or do
But as far as the question goes, yeah.
Do the what's it called? The poison.
The poison. Poison for Cusco. Poison made specifically to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison.
Classic.
Barnabas,
The old classic crunk.
you want to voice act sometime?
Oh my goodness, I would love to. I never thought that opportunity would ever be given to me someday, but hey, I would love to. Fuck it. That's like the dream job of mine.
I will contact you.
Oh my goodness.
Hey.
Never had an offer before. I'm flattered.
Why's your
Thank
dick
you.
hard, dude?
I love the voice.
What? Hey, how'd you know? You're not supposed to know that.
No, but seriously, what the fuck is oatmeal? Like,
Seriously, what is oatmeal? I wrote this down the other day thinking, oatmeal, what is it? You put it in water and you get it hot and it's soft. Why is it?
I think it's like
There's so many. I could take that so out of context.
it's past, bro. It's I think it's soup. Oatmeal is just soup.
It's just the thing. It could pass for soup, but it starts out as cereal. Am I not wrong? It's
I guess.
it's cereal you get really hot.
What is oatmeal?
The biggest question of all time.
I've never been turned on by I've never been turned on by asking what oatmeal was.
Colonel, I'm having trouble with this oatmeal. Colonel, done thick.
And the clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the guards.
No, one time I made myself crack up and like in the middle of a movie theater because you know how you like sometimes when you get to the bottom of a bag of popcorn, there's still those unpopped kernels. And I picked one up. Actually, no, I chewed on one and I spat it out and I looked at it and in my head I was like, kernel.
No.
It was a stupid pun, but I thought it was clever.
Damn it. That's good.
It was a pretty good one. I have to admit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty damn good
Damn,
one.
honestly, this rain's really fucking up my internet. Fuck. God damn.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, there's bad weather on our end.
It was pretty bad earlier, but most of it's kind of gone away. I wouldn't say all of it, but I'd say most of it.
That sucks. It's pretty clear over here.
That's amazing.
So,
Yeah.
Jay,
Go ahead, John.
Yes.
what's better, Jack in the Box or Taco Bell?
All right.
Oh God!
Oh,
Good
No.
Lord, we're doing this again.
this is an easy
And
one.
this refract's gonna
God
chime in.
damn it! Like, listen, I've been holding back this entire time. I've been off to the sidelines, but you've summoned me. You've awakened the ancient one with this question.
Yes, we're calling you Tom Brady.
Gross, but all right. Who's gonna go first? Because I'm gonna shoot all of you down.
Can I plead the
Alright.
fifth?
Can I honestly say, Taco Bell has never once shot out of me like their milkshake machines do. That's a different story for another day. That's another reason why I don't eat their tacos and their chocolate milkshakes in one sitting. But I digress.
God, I remember.
Jack in the Box has always made me just question a lot of things about life, including my own digestive issues. Taco Bell, not once. I'd have to say Taco Bell wins Jack in the Box over my heart any day. Or wait, that made sense. I forgot how to English. Taco Bell over Jack in the Box. Okay, who's next?
Oh fuck.
They're both about pretty 50-50 for me.
Okay, fair enough. So Papa gives it a solid C.
More like a solid
Although
shit.
Oh no, trust me, it ain't solid.
Yikes.
Okay, because we had this debate in the last episode. Taco Bell, not authentic Mexican food. If you want authentic Mexican food, support your local taco
Go
truck.
to taqueria if you want Mexican food.
Yeah, if it looks like you can tow away the restaurant, that's where you need to go.
Yep. That's it.
Damn it. It's good. I like that.
Well, JoJo, you've been awfully quiet since the whole Taco Bell, Jack in the Box.
You already know
dispute.
where I stand with Taco Bell.
Oh, I know.
You know where I stand with Taco Bell.
But how do you feel on Jack in the
Jack in the
Crack?
Crack.
I
I'd
mean-
rather eat that than Taco Bell.
You're wrong.
God, we did not have this talk after the other
I
session.
know, and we need to address that now. I just want you to know that I love you, but you're wrong.
And I love you too.
Taco Bell's
But
the truth.
the truth of lies. That's
No,
what it
it's
is.
how the fuck does that make any sense?
The truth of lies. That's what it is. The truth of lies.
Taco Bell is, if I may, the way. I will sacrifice like my 7th born child for Taco Bell.
Wow. That's a lot of
Yeah.
children.
I was just like, do you not know how
No,
a
I don't think I'm
condom
gonna
works?
make it that far. That's probably why I said my 7th born. But
Well, there goes
If
our
I had a
Trojan
seventh born,
sponsorship.
I'd give him just about it. I'd give him away just for anything.
Oh, okay. God damn.
Tom, would you give up your right arm and your left foot and possibly one of your ears for Taco Bell?
I'd give up more.
Oh,
Jesus.
good Lord.
Taco Bell, please sponsor me.
Oh,
Your Baja Blast.
Oh Lord.
I would let.
yeah.
I want Taco Bell to Baja Blast on my face.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's kind of a sticky situation you got yourself into. Jay, where do you
Yes.
stand on the whole Taco Bell Jack in the Box debate?
So I'll be real honest with you. I don't know that I can make a comment on this conversation because I've never had Jack in the Box.
Really?
What?
I don't know that I've ever been in a place that
Yeah,
had one.
it's regional.
In. Oh,
that's
yeah,
true.
that is true.
Oh.
Dang,
And if I did, then I don't think I just think I've never gone. No one's ever mentioned it. So
I forgot.
Gotcha.
Regional. God damn it. Okay. So
but Taco Bell is good, but I can't compare the two.
Yep.
okay.
Fair
okay.
enough.
How about this? McDonald's or Taco Bell?
McDonald's.
I
Huh?
second.
Wait, what exclusive
yeah.
regional
Look,
restaurants?
Taco Bell's not bad, but the problem is it causes digestion problems. I can eat McDonald's all day long with no issues, and they got except for when their shake machine never fucking works.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Okay.
I plead for this. And throughout this whole freaking stay-at-home orders, I hope they had time to fix this ice cream machine.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I work at a fast casual restaurant. We don't want to give you a shake. You can go fuck yourself.
I see. So that's the truth.
When I worked at Dairy Queen, I told people, "Can you stop ordering shakes at 9:59? We close in 1 minute."
Exactly.
Yeah.
You not know how painful it is to clean this ice cream machine.
It's not that it's broken.
Pressure
I
wash.
can tell you
And
for
then-
one thing.
And then at 9:59, you get this. Welcome to Dairy Queen. How can I help you? Yes, can I get a small M&M Blizzard, a large vanilla shake, a banana split? Make that 2 banana splits with extra nuts. You know how much ice cream I'm wasting right now?
There is gonna be extra nut.
If you don't get out of my drive-thru, I'm gonna give you extra nuts to the face.
Oh no.
I can tell you for one thing. With firsthand experience of this, nothing's more frustrating than driving all the way to the restaurant of where you want to get ice cream from, way before they close, if they even close, if they're not 24 hours. Go drive all the way to that place, sit in that long ass drive-through at 3 o'clock in the morning, just for them to say, "Oh, ice cream machine broke." You mean to tell me your ice machine is no? I drove all this way. You need to make me some fucking ice cream. Sorry.
Damn.
Coming from an avid ice cream lover.
It's
Yes, I want to. That's why I drove all the way there, because my ass don't have any at home. I want to go somewhere where I'm not going to get touched inappropriately in the checkout line
What
at
the
Walmart
fuck?
at 3 o'clock in the morning.
what the
Like, that's why I want to go in the drive-thru, just so I can get some ice cream with
take.
bro?
You know how
I just
Bro,
want
I smell
ice cream.
PTSD.
You know
Holy
how I
shit.
you know how I know
I
he's
gotta
an
tell
avid
ya.
ice cream lover. The time we got off of work
Yes.
at 6 in the morning and it was 7 o'clock. We just got back in town. Oh, we're going to Whataburger. You want something? Sure. What are you getting?
Yeah, can I get a large
Wait.
vanilla shake?
Why the fuck are we off track? We're off tangent.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just going
It's
off on
ice
a
cream.
really large tangent about ice cream and
Oh my god.
anyway.
It's my man over here. I'll be honest.
Oh yeah. Hey, Jay, like, what regional restaurants, like fast food chains, do you have over there at wherever you at?
Oof. All right, so let's start with the big old. So I currently reside in Washington State, good old left side of the corner of the fucking United States.
Nice.
I hear
And
it's beautiful up there.
it's very oh my goodness, nature is amazing over here. The thing is, I live on a little island called Bainbridge Island, which is 30 minutes west a ferry ride of Seattle. That being said, I don't go to Seattle. I don't want to go near Seattle. City traffic sucks. City people suck. everything over there sucks. Point is, that being said, Bainbridge Island has nothing. There's just a bunch of shitty fucking island restaurants over here because they're like, oh, we're entitled and we're a rich island, so we make our own restaurant. And I'm like, okay, give me my McDonald's or my Wendy's or something, you piece of shit. I don't let my fat kid heart be happy on the West Coast. I'm from the East Coast. You can't do that shit to me, okay? Like,
East Coast with the zit.
And
Oh my god.
so over here, there's nothing except the typical, like, we got McDonald's, we got Wendy's, we got Taco Bell. There is a Buffalo Wild Wings that I've never gone to, but I want to because I love that place. There's Chipotle, which is 40 minutes away from my fucking apartment, so I don't want to go there either. There's what else? A bunch of other shit. Yeah, it's not great.
Wow,
Gotcha.
when you said the nearest Chipotle was 40 minutes, or did we say 40 minutes or 40 miles?
40
Either
minutes.
way. I mean, either way, those still feel basically the same. But, I mean, still, I've never had to drive that far for a Chipotle in my life.
It's awful, right? Well, because here's the deal. It's like Bainbridge Island is where, like, I don't know how to explain it. So basically, to get to Seattle, there's only two ways to go to Seattle from Bainbridge Island. You either go across a ferry for 30 minutes and then end up in Seattle and then come back across another 30-minute ferry, or you drive an hour and 40 minutes around to Seattle. And
Oh no.
that's the whole thing, is to get to Chipotle, you have to go that way, okay? It's either that or take a 30-minute ferry ride to Seattle. Both are awful, but I don't want to take the ferry because I don't want to go to Seattle. So I might as well just take the fucking 40-minute drive all the way down to fucking Silverdale and get myself some Chipotle.
So basically, where you are, it's let's see if we can get to our destination without going anywhere near Seattle.
Exactly.
Am I correct?
Yes,
Awesome.
correct.
Glad to know. I'm glad to know I'm not the only one who despises the giant cities.
Big cities are terrible. They're awful.
Yes,
like
they are.
I
I
hate
hate
them.
'em.
I don't understand
Especially-
how anyone can like them.
Especially the downtown districts. Oh my god.
Those are the worst. Sometimes they're pretty, but
especially-
not if you're driving in it.
Especially if there's a concert.
Oh, absolutely. And like the worst thing for me, like here, Seattle, if you come across that ferry from Bainbridge Island or from wherever else to get to Seattle, and and say you're in a vehicle, which I would never do because that's a death trap in Seattle. I'm in my truck, right? My poor little 2005 truck. I'm coming off the ferry, and then you know what's right in front of me? This huge ass hill going way up to the top of wherever Seattle's elevation is. And there's no fucking way I'm going up that hill, because you know what's on that hill? Lots of traffic lights. And you know what that means I have to do on that hill? Hit my brakes and hold them forever, because nobody knows how to drive and it's crowded as fuck. And then if you let off the brakes, you know where I'm going? I'm not going forward, that's for sure. It's terrifying, and I hate it. So if I ever do go to Seattle, I always walk.
God.
Well, down here in Texas, we have no hills. It's just flat.
Well,
Yeah, Ohio doesn't have any hills either, so I understand.
Except for that hill in Brenham.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Made off
that one hill.
290.
That's the thing about small town guys like me and JoJo here. It's like, oh, let's go to that one hill and that one. Oh yeah, let's go that down the hill. You know, that's just what all small town kids do. We don't all sound like that, but you know where I'm going with this.
Wait. Especially for where I'm from, where like everybody
Oh,
knows
yeah.
everybody. I could walk down the street
Oh,
and be like,
yeah.
"Hey, you're that kid that lives like 2 streets and 2 blocks down, right?"
Everyone's inbred.
Yeah, I know
yeah.
you by name. How are your
Yep.
parents doing?
Exactly. It's just like, oh, my parents know your parents, and their parents knew their parents. I'm just like, oh god.
Your teacher taught my grandma. What?
What?
I married my cousin.
It's just weird, you know? It's like, I met your parents before they met. Like, oh, cool. Why did you tell me that?
Okay, John, we're not that far deep south.
Oh,
okay,
okay, my bad.
That's the
We
deep,
can
deep
go.
south.
We can go on dates out in Lufkin, Texas. I tell you what.
Oh god. But no, I've passed through Joe's town before. I passed through it. I blinked. I was out of it. That's pretty much like that's how small the town is.
Jay, he cannot make this up. One day he came to pick me up and he was like, "Is this all your town is?" "Yeah, dude. Watch. Go straight. Stoplight. Go past the stoplight." "Okay. We're out of town."
Yep. Pretty much.
What the fuck?
It was like 2 warehouses, train tracks, houses. That's it. Like
And a barn.
Like this is all we have. We have like maybe 4 fast food restaurants, a pizza place. The school's like dead in the middle of town. 2 car dealerships, 2 gas stations, and a small grocery store. That's about it.
Oh hell yeah!
Now, if you lived on the good part of town where there was like crap load of trees and maybe like a couple neighbors here and there, you had the big houses and you were like out of sight from everybody.
Oh yeah.
You could walk 10 minutes. Oh crap, you're at school already.
You know what, dude? I can relate with you like hating big cities. As a Houstonian, like me and Papa are from Houston, and Tom Cruise, like, dude, people don't know how to fucking drive, and I understand that because there's people who tend to cut off people and cause accidents, and there's always those nosy ass people when you're driving into a traffic jam. People are like, oh, what the fuck is going on? And then like,
Oh yeah, they stop and slow down.
Oh my god.
yeah, and it's like, oh, this person just died. Like, why you keep looking? Just keep going, dude. Just keep driving. Like
hit the gas. Move.
I know.
Yeah, that's a term called rubbernecking.
Yes, sir. That'd be it.
Oh no! And then the worst thing, okay, like people will cut people off, but here's the thing: they don't use their blinkers, and the part that drives me insane, they're on their phone when they cut you off.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, do you have a death wish?
My like question is like, it's like, do they care if they like murder somebody? Like, congratulations, you just murdered a whole family of 7. They're going to a quinceañera,
The world
30
has
miles
all
down south of
kinds,
where
man.
you were going. Anyway, I'm
Congratulations.
sorry, Jay. What was that?
I said the world has all kinds, man.
Absolutely.
Jay, you said you were pretty big into anime, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you have a current favorite one right now? Because I know it circulates. Because as a fellow anime lover too, like for me, it tends to circulate like what I'm watching at certain times. Do you have a particular one you're watching right now? That you
Boku
think
no
is really
Pico.
good?
Kusogaki. Damn. Let's see. So not that I'm watching exactly at this moment. I could list like 2 that are my all-time favorites and probably will stay that way for a while because they're just so damn good. First one, Toradora. I love that anime.
Wait.
So cute.
What anime?
Toradora. And then the second one that I just watched, and I'm parodying right now, is called Beyond the Boundary. It's really awesome. Like, I didn't know what I was getting into when I started watching that one, and like, without spoiling or giving too much away, the first scene of that, if you haven't seen it on my channel yet, the first scene of that is there's a guy who like thinks his junior is gonna jump off the roof and kill herself. And he runs up to save her, and she stabs him. And, like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I had no idea what was going on. And, like, I was so intrigued that I kept watching. And just, like, by the end of that anime, I was like, I'm so happy. Like, so that's my favorite one right now is Beyond the Boundary.
Nice. I'm currently catching up with My Hero Academia as of right now.
I need to catch up. I haven't seen past season 2.
Oh, get on it. It's
I gotta. I'm sorry. I know.
You know, you're good. You're good. Joe, you were gonna say something?
Have you heard of a anime called I just saw it not too long ago. I think it's called The Promised Neverland.
I haven't watched it yet, but I have it in my queue.
I think, to me personally, I think it's very good. I mean, I've watched like 3/4 of the season already, but I'm so intrigued into it. When you watch your animes, like what What are you looking for like when you watch an anime? Are you more interested like in a plot or in the characters themselves?
Damn, that's a tough question because I like a lot of different things. For me, it kind of boils down to, damn, what a loaded question. It boils down to, firstly, when I watch an anime, the first episode has to catch my attention. If I am bored by the end of the first episode, I will not continue watching. That's basically how it is. For me, what determines being bored, I guess, is like if there's no kind of event that happens in the first episode, something that will want me to figure out what's going on, then I'm not interested. In terms of genre for anime, I honestly watch just about anything except mecha anime. I don't know what it is about it. I just don't really like it. I like having human interaction, not robot interaction. I think that's the thing. I think it's weird. But to each their own. I don't judge. It's fine. But particularly, I actually love... this is going to sound stupid coming from me, but I really enjoy watching slice of life / romance anime. I'll be really honest with you. I'm a sucker, okay? But I do like a lot of action-y stuff, too. If it's got like a combination of the both, I'm super down. I love rom-coms. I think they're great. I will watch anything similar to like... Sorry, that's my processing. I love all like the joke parody anime, like the ones with the long titles. Like I watched, what is it called? It's like I couldn't become a hero, so I reluctantly became a grocery store manager, whatever. That one's really funny. Anything like that that's really comedy based and is like,
the devil's a part timer.
Exactly, I love that one too. There's that one, and then like. Anything like that. I just recently finished watching Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in the Next Life? And it's your typical like isekai anime where like the character dies from some unfortunate accident and gets reborn into another world.
Oh my
it's
God.
It's just really hilarious. So I love really just about anything, but if nothing catches my attention either with comedy or like some tragic event in the first episode or some kind of love interest, I'm like, okay, I'm not interested and don't want to keep watching this. So I usually pass it by.
You know, do you know what's a really good anime that people are really sleep on? I think Bo. It's a fucking good ass anime.
Yes.
Yes, that one.
Damn it.
That shit is fucking funny. As a kid, I always shit myself each time I saw that fucking anime. It's so...
I've got the power of the nose hair.
Exactly.
Whenever the Toonami guy would always announce what was coming up next. Coming up next on Toonami. Bo. I can never take him seriously whenever he said that.
I was just like, did he stutter?
Way too good.
It's like, is he having a stroke? Someone call 911.
For me personally, I'm not a big anime watcher, but when I see stuff like that, like for example, like Bobobo or like Ghost Stories is just another one where it's like the translation was never gonna like be any good, so they just throw away the script and like fuck it, run with it. I feel like that's probably when like you get to see like a lot of funny shit, like with those two in particular.
Oh, there's actually one like that out there.
Yeah, because I don't know if you've ever seen
John,
Ghost Stories.
You showed me Golden Boy.
Oh, Golden Boy, yes, that shit.
Showed me Golden Boy. I just showed Papa a few episodes of Golden Boy, and I was laughing myself. He was more disgusted than me, but I don't know what his
concerned.
Study.
Study. Along the, not to randomly interject a topic here, but I just had a thought. Speaking of things that don't have good translations, along those lines, I guess I'm kind of referring to most English dubs, but the deal is like, I just had the thought that like, most of the time that's the case, even in a really good anime, and the reason for that is just because Japanese is not an easy language to translate into English. Absolutely not an easy language, considering it's like everything word order wise is backwards, and it's like there are certain concepts in Japanese that don't exist in English. So it's really hard sometimes to get the point across. So I applaud a lot of English script writers that do their best to get the point, because it's really tough, I imagine. The quickest example I can think of is the word in Japanese that is used in anime often. Aniki is usually in English it's translated to like bro, right? But it means it's something more of like a male in a group that has a respect for another male in the group, and they're pretty close, like in terms of relationship. But in America, that kind of thing is usually like
The homies.
politically frowned upon. So they're like, oh, we can't do that. So like they just call him bro, and I'm like, okay, but that's as close as you can get, but it's still not the same thing, So translation things are always difficult, but I always love the ones that are really bad.
Yep. It's always hysterical.
Is this a bird?
Like if an anime if an anime like has a very bad translation, but it's funny, like it's entertaining to watch, then I'll probably just watch it just so I can keep laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
so good.
I don't know if you can see, like sometimes on Facebook, I have a few friends that are Korean, people that speak like Spanish or like Chinese even. I like to see what Facebook translates to, and sometimes the result is so damn funny.
Because it's always so broken, and you're like, what? I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so John, what do we have time left for?
Let's
I'm not sure if you had anything left to talk about, or if you had anything.
cut to your session, Barnabas. Let's start with you.
Okay, because that's the Okay, so there's this little game I like to play. It's a little bit redundant. Some people call it retarded. Be it as it may, I call it 5 questions. Now, you may realize this has more than 5 questions. Well, shut up. It's 5 questions anyway. We're playing it. The first question is, would you rather see Cardi B in concert or find 11 cents in your pocket?
11 cents. Like
11
far
cents.
down.
11 cents.
Yeah. 11 cents.
Yeah.
All right.
Coronavirus! Shit's real! Keep-
Joe, 11 cents? Okay. I haven't heard your response yet, so I was wondering. All right, we have settled on 11 cents. Question number 2. Why did little Sally drop her ice cream cone?
She died.
Because she a bitch.
Very great answers. But no, she got ran over by a fucking bus.
I was right. I said she died.
Dropping her ice cream cone. You were close.
He
It
didn't
was a
say.
good
He
answer.
didn't say that she died.
Oh.
It didn't say she just got hit by a bus, therefore dropping her ice cream cone.
You do not survive a bus. You die. You become a toothpaste.
No,
roll.
no. You can survive a bust. You're just gonna have to get used to a feeding tube.
I mean, all I've been told that she dropped her ice cream cone.
She becomes
She got hit by a bus.
VeggieTales, bro. Like, all right, Barnabas. Next question. Tell me, please.
A hot dog. What the fuck is a hot dog? Is it a sandwich? I'm losing my mind here. What is a hot dog? Please respond.
It's a congealed mass of multiple meats.
I agree with Jay's answer.
I think
It is a bunch of multiple meats.
I think-
should say.
Well,
I think hot dog is a sandwich.
No.
I was kind of going with that too, because it's a piece of meat in between 2 pieces of bread. That's a sandwich, right? Or a
technically, it's a
hoagie.
singular piece of bread.
Is it like a hoagie, a sub, is a sandwich?
Subway.
It's got to be categorized as something, right?
I don't
It's
like the word
categorized as a
hoagie.
hot dog. Move on.
It sounds like a sexual move.
Well, this one. All right. Well, since we couldn't really come up with the answer for this one's gonna be a doozy. How many chickens do you think would it take to kill an elephant?
Fuck.
Did you come up with these while you were playing Minecraft or something?
Yes.
even though there's no elephants in Minecraft.
Yes.
1,467.
Now, how many chickens? 1,467 from Joe. Anyone else?
1.
1 from Jay. All right. It'll take 1 supersonic chicken. Either that or that's some weak ass elephant. We gotta do some research into that. Tom Cruise. What do you think? How many chickens do you think would it take to kill an
None.
elephant?
Just let the elephant die.
Just let the elephant die. All right.
Damn.
Drink all the water in the African plains. We already went over the oatmeal one. That is, I still don't know what the fuck oatmeal is.
I kind of want to see the supersonic chicken now.
Yeah, I want to see that supersonic chicken too.
I-
What did that
Hell
chicken eat? I would
I-
like to know some of that chicken's diet supplements. Just
it
like
ain't
Sonic.
He collected all the Chaos Emeralds.
Nice.
Of course, he collected all the Chaos Emeralds.
Speaking of which, apparently Dwayne The Rock Johnson is in talk to play Knuckles in Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
How is that gonna work?
You eat your brownie. Your brownie.
No, if they can get Kevin Hart to play Tails.
Oh God.
Yes.
No, Kevin Hart as Dr. Eggman.
Whoops.
I mean, Jim Carrey killed his Eggman when I went to go see the movie.
That man's crazy. I think that man's crazy.
I mean, aren't most Hollywood people?
That's very true. All of them were crying in their.
It's called a lot of
billionaire houses
cocaine.
right now.
All right, it's a lot of cocaine in their system.
Gwyneth Paltrow, sorry.
Oof.
Oof.
I'm gonna make a candle that smells just like my pussy. It's gonna smell so great.
Dude,
Then
I can't believe
we're
someone
like-
actually did
and
that.
then we're all like, yeah, then we're all sitting there like, no, don't put that out on the market. You know, but she still did anyway, and now she's making a profit off of it.
You-
Somehow.
I have a question for all of you. All right.
Yes.
It's very serious. All right. So
I'm about to turn your ass down.
I'm gonna turn you on. All right. So
Oh, turn me on.
Chicken nuggies.
Turn me on.
okay.
Thanks, Baby Yoda.
Okay. Would you rather have penis fingers or penis toes? Barnabas, what's your answer?
I hate this question.
Penis fingers or penis toes? Well, if I had penis toes, no one would see them. But what if I get hard in my shoes?
I mean,
What if I get boners in my shoes? I'm gonna have to.
I mean, get those shoes that stretch and you gain like 2 shoe
You
sizes.
need Shaq shoes. That's what you need.
But
size
then again, what if I
24,
stub
5Es
my
or
toe
whatever.
penis on like the table, on, like the foot of the table or something?
You probably break it because you have a hard
Just
dick.
smash that toe. Oh, you're right. On second thought, I could easily suck my fingers dry. I'll have penis fingers. What?
You said just suck your fingers.
Oh my lord.
Okay, Papa, what's your answer?
Oh my!
This dude really sounded suck. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Oh god! I'll just go with the penis feet. Barney just killed it with Barney just killed it with fucking sucking his own fingers dry.
I'm talking about if you have like Cheetos or something, but you know.
How do you successfully get the
Whatever, man.
Cheetos into your mouth? Do you just kind of like stuff it into the foreskin and just bring it up to like?
That would really hurt.
No, but it's your fingers though. It's your fingers. So would it really hurt as much as having a Cheeto stuck in your dick?
Oh, that's
He has
true.
dick cheese for cream cheese, whatever.
Yeah. You could store snacks in the foreskin for later.
They're gonna be extra cheesy too.
Okay, Jay, what's your answer?
Well, I don't want to eat my ice cream anymore. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Jay, what's your answer?
God has abandoned this chat. Welcome to the Pickle Jar podcast.
It's okay. It's all right. Inhale. Composure.
that was-
We're good. All right. So, personally, I think I would like to have penis fingers so I could beat the shit out of John. For asking that stupid fucking question.
How about you, Joe?
I was like, no, you come here.
Joe.
What would you have,
I
Joe?
think I'd have to have penis fingers.
Okay. Why?
All right. 3 on board with penis
Oh,
fingers.
man. That's a tough reason why.
Am I the only one that's going with dick flippers?
Yeah, so far, dick flippers.
All you gotta do is kick your girlfriend's vagina, and there you go.
But what if it goes in at a wrong angle?
Whoopsie! Whoopsie!
Mortal Kombat.
Oh, how about you, Tom Nook? I mean, Cruz.
Tom Nook.
Where's my
Yeah,
money?
you fucking raccoon face. Fuck,
Yeah,
what's
bitch,
up?
I'll take your goddamn taxes. I don't give a fuck. Anyways, Kowalski analysis.
You'll never pay off that loan.
I don't know if I want
Alright.
to.
Analysis. See, there's a lot of pros and cons here. Yeah. Dick flippers. Well, okay. Let's start here. Does it do you retain all feeling in the set of penis? Fuck. That sucks. Regardless, if it's in your, it would literally hurt every single time that you fuck. Wait, no, it's your testicles that really fucking hurt. Okay, so never mind. Let's reel this back a real second. Alright, so penis toes, it would probably be super fucking uncomfortable, and every single time you take your shoes, it would probably smell like a fish market, so that'd be pretty fucking bad.
Yes.
And then, how hard would it be to shop for penis-shaped shoe wear?
Shoes?
Like, you probably couldn't ever... You couldn't wear fucking sandals in public without socks, or otherwise...
Nah,
risk
dog,
of
wear your
being
slides.
arrested. Yeah, dude. I'm pretty sure.
Just
I'm pretty sure
Crocs.
you could get arrested for public nudity if you do that.
I think Crocs would be considered lingerie.
Yeah, and it's like if you like wieners in your butt, like I feel like fingers would probably be the way to go as well. But I'm gonna back up Marco on this, so I'm gonna say penis flippers.
I think personally,
All right, so 2 for penis flippers.
I think I use penis fingers because like if I get mad, I just dick slap him in the face. Like just be easy.
Or you could just
It's
deep
not
grip
like-
someone.
See, like if I'd be like, man, I'm pretty horny. Just deep down my fingers. I'm sorry, that was really stupid. But yeah,
You could easily satisfy a good old ass itch with penis fingers.
yeah, just imagine grabbing like a cup and you start cooming as you grab it. Like, oh fuck. Okay.
Does someone like hit silverware or something?
Yes. Sorry, I dropped the fork. I'm sorry.
See, that's why you don't go with penis fingers.
Well, you just might have to be horny.
Horny.
You might have to be horny all the time. You might have to be horny all the time to pick shit up.
Harney Barney.
fingers.
Okay, gotcha.
Makes a lot of sense.
Alright.
Okay, next question. All right, you guys ready for next question?
Not
Yes.
really.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right. Woo! All right. Would you rather have?
No.
God damn it. Can't even ask it. Yuck. Would you rather have? Oh my god. Would you rather have teeth for pubes or teeth as pubes?
What?
Wait, what?
Wait.
Wait.
No.
Sorry. Okay, so like,
Error code 404.
sorry,
What?
sorry. I went full dumbass. Okay.
Exiting application.
Oh, so that's not a constant thing.
No.
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 It is.
Yeah. It happens a lot. But so would you rather have, like as your teeth will be pubes, but your pubic hair will be covered in teeth? What do you prefer?
Well, you can't shave teeth.
Do your teeth keep growing like pubes?
That would be awful.
It's at that point you don't even have pubes on your crotch. You just have a fucking plate of bone armor.
That's actually pretty useful.
It's like, is that a cup? No, it's bone armor.
Okay, this is epic. Pro gamer move. There it is. All right, then. Okay, that's my answer. Then I'm gonna go with teeth for pubes. That's it.
I
Bone
gotta go
armor
jail
all the
now.
way. Hell yeah.
It's armor.
What about what are you gonna do whenever you're trying to have sexy time? Can you just like flip it up or like what?
Get the mouthwash. Baby.
Mouthwash.
I'd have to install some kind of like compartment to like open it up.
Yeah, because I mean, if you have like the other way around, like it constantly feels like you're probably trying to eat out Bigfoot in your fucking mouth.
That takes Cottonmouth to a whole new level.
Make her wear a chainmail underneath there, so I think that'd be
Chainmail.
to protect from damage. honestly, I'll go for the teeth, like teeth as pubes. Bone armor for the win, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know where.
But does that mean you have to brush your pubes every night?
Yes.
Maybe.
Cause yes.
Before
Do you
before and after
do you
meals.
floss your pubes?
Yes, sir.
So what do you do if you go to the dentist? Is it a gynecologist appointment or what?
A gynecologist? What?
Well, it's not exactly, but is it like on the? Is it like the same like type of doctor or something like that? Like,
You gotta find that one doctor out there
what about
that
the?
specializes in pee
Exactly.
and teeth.
God, this is a fucking terrible question I just asked.
All of these questions have
Yes.
been terrible
You
so
think-
far. You fuck.
Correct.
Oh, here's one that we all might be fantasizing about in the next few minutes. What's the worst possible way to die?
What the fuck?
Oh god.
Eating Burger King.
Death by Burger King.
That's how I plan to go out.
Wait, Joe, did you say death by Taco
By
Bell?
Taco Bell. It's the worst way to die.
Fuck you.
I'm gonna bite
That's
a
the worst way.
Or I'm gonna bite a burrito and then.
I think the worst possible way is probably drowning in hydrogen peroxide.
What the fuck?
That's oddly specific.
Jesus.
Well,
Are
because
you-
think about it, that shit would burn in your eyes. It
Are
would
you
burn your
okay?
nostrils.
Who hurt you?
Hey, it would really get rid of that earwax.
Yeah, you wouldn't have earwax anymore, and your body would be just absolutely clean. I mean, you're completely like decomposed clean. Like just everything would be picked off clean off the bone. You have a perfect skeleton.
Listen, man. So long as I don't smell like Smash Player, that's all I could ask for.
Oh lord.
God.
I think the best. Wait, you said the worst possible death?
The worst possible way to die.
Yes.
I think like for real though, I think the worst possible death is being crushed. I think that's like the worst way to die.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just watching a movie with Papa the other day, and I just gotta say, there was a scene in the movie where the main character was about to get crushed to death by, I want to say, about 10,000 metric tons of rock because of his avalanche or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just started thinking like, wow, I think I'd rather drown. I never thought I'd say that. I don't want to be crushed to death. I think I'd rather drown.
For those
And
people
I'd-
curious, the movie's Dante's Peak with Pierce Brosnan and Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the movie we were watching, and the scene where they all get in the mine, and the mine is crushing on top of the truck, and then for 2 days he's underneath this. The ceiling crushes all the way down to where the seat, toward like the cushion part of the seat meets, and Pierce Brosnan is underneath the little foot space for 2 days. Well, in the movie, he's in there for 2 days.
With
I'm
a
just
broken
like-
arm, by the way.
Yeah, with a broken arm. I'm just like, oh no, that's claustrophobia. No thanks. I'd rather drown. Sorry.
I feel like any death that's not quick would be pretty bad.
Yeah.
That being said, any of you guys ever played Corpse
Oh
Party?
God. Yes.
I've seen gameplay.
That shit's
Okay.
fucked.
I don't
So-
think I have.
My thought in that whole game and in general, like the worst way to die. There's a scene from the game where one of the characters gets caught by this ghost kid, and he ends up like in a dark hole, and he can't like see anything. He doesn't know where he is. And then up above him, he can hear someone shoveling down dirt into the hole, and then he just like dirt ends up like in his like mouth, and he like suffocates to death by being crushed by dirt.
Oh no.
And I every time I see that scene, I like my whole body just it's just I cannot imagine like getting your mouth just filled up with dirt to the point where you suffocate to death. And like first you're being covered in dirt and it's gross. Second, it's like you're being buried alive, and third, you just like you literally are suffocating to death. Like there's nothing probably worse than feeling like your lungs are gonna explode and then just like feeling that whole entire. Similarly, being like crushed to death, right? If you're crushed to death under certain circumstances, if you're still alive, you can feel yourself being crushed to death, and that's not fun. Like I'd rather just fall from a really high height, hit the ground, and die immediately. Like if I can't feel it, that's probably a good way to go.
Or feel it the least amount of time possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, just get it over with, please.
Yo,
that's all I'm saying.
For me, I think. Sorry, but what were you gonna say, John?
Speaking of Corpse Party, do you know what scene really like fucked me? Like it was really like fucked. So I think there was one scene where this girl was being hanged, right? And she was she was in the bathroom, right? It's been a while since I played the game.
Yeah,
Seiko. And she was like, her life was like she was being hanged, and there was this bucket, right? There was a bucket, right? If I can remember right. But
there was a bucket.
So if you try to save her, she ends up dying. And I was like, what the fuck? And like it just you can see her dying, and it's just like really fucking like, damn, dude. Just imagine being like hanged like that. And, like it's gonna get dark, but it just makes you think. People who God bless their souls, like people who commit suicide, just makes you think, why would they pick that way to die? Or like I wish they could have sought help, because that was pretty fucked how. Yeah, I just think hanging is the worst way to die. Well, one of the worst way to die.
Hanging doesn't sound it's because it's out of the ways that you could pick to die. It's probably the most painful and takes a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, not a long time. Obviously, your brain suffocates after a certain amount of minutes, but it's like, I don't know if I could. Not that I've ever wanted to kill myself, but I don't know if I could stand. Like, I'm a bitch, dude. I can't sit there and have a rope around my neck for probably even 30 seconds. I'd be like, no, I'm done. Get me out of here.
Fuck that.
You know what I mean?
For me, I would say the worst way to go is either burning
to
death.
Fuck, dude.
Oh yeah.
Or being buried alive.
Yeah.
Because ever since I saw the movie Buried, that's just claustrophobia. Like, I don't have claustrophobia, but I think that would instantly like give me claustrophobia. And to think like you're just in the in a box, don't know how deep under the ground you are, and there's little to nothing you can do, and you have a limited supply of air.
Right.
And I'm just like, great that I'd be panicking at that point.
Yeah.
I think anyone would be panicking.
Yeah. John, did you want to go ahead and take a short intermission before we come back for a little while longer?
I'm okay with intermission. I gotta take a pee-pee.
All right.
All right.
We'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and take a short 5-minute intermission.
I'm gonna get some piss. I'm gonna take a piss. I'm gonna get some piss. Jesus fucking Christ.
Some warm, tasty piss.
Oh man, I need to stop like sleeping late, man. I'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to the Pickle Jar. Sorry it took a while. We had to do stuff. So,
we had to pee.
Yeah, he had to shit and fart. So, all right. So, we're gonna hand it off to Joe over here, since he has, because he wants to continue what he talked about in the last podcast.
It's my time.
It's your time to shine.
Sports ball.
It's my time. Okay, it's my time.
Joe, take
My time.
the stage.
Sports ball. Sports bowls.
Colonel.
So, I was just catching up on some stuff. I'm gonna start off with some of the little stuff that I noticed the other day. So as of the COVID-19 situation, WWE has released probably like
Oh, I heard
15 to
about
20
that.
people in the past 2 days, and it's crazy. Uh, some of the big names on there. The
What?
biggest name on there was
Oh,
Kurt
they
Angle.
released Kurt Angle.
What?
Kurt Angle was the prime time release right there, and it wasn't like he wasn't really on script for anything anymore. He wasn't on TV anymore, but they had him as a producer, and he was a GM at one point. But they released him. They released a couple of big names I can name off the top of my head. Was the OC, which is they were originally Bullet Club and NJPW with AJ Styles. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. EC3, he was a big time wrestler for TNA a couple years back, but he had a stint with WWE, and that didn't really go so well. So
COVID,
you hadn't seen him on
man.
TV. Another one was a wrestler. He's been at the company
Rusev,
like 8
yeah.
years. His name's Rusev. He actually had Rusev had a really good storyline with John Cena. That was his most famous storyline. That was when he first got in, and they released an employee that had been with the company since 1989.
Dang.
He was a referee.
Dang.
Man, WWE is
And
just redneck anime.
All of them are in furlough, but but there's another tie into all those releases. There's a tie into those releases, and that's because WWE had sold 25% of its profits to go and fund the XFL. So that's where it tied into all those releases. I saw some yesterday. League of Legends is having their I think it's North American tournament. C9 is supposed to face
Evil
the winner of
Geniuses
tonight's
versus
matchup.
FlyQuest. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you, Frankie. God! Edit me out on that one because I'm stupid right now at this point. I'm so used
I
to
just see
talking
this
with
huge
Frankie.
ass audio spike through that. I'm just like, holy shit.
It's a spike. I'm sorry. Let's see what else is going on. I remember I told y'all last week that players had signed from the XFL to the NFL. I found out 2 names were from the same team.
Houston
and they are
Roughnecks.
Beloved. Let me speak on John. Houston Rednecks, John.
TJ Walker and help me out here.
Dietrich Nichols. I think that's how you say his first
I
name.
haven't.
Those are the 2 big names because obviously Houston's the
Hell
only
yeah,
undefeated
baby.
team in XFL history.
I'm crying.
Hell yeah, baby. And then I guess the XFL is the big one that I saw. I saw a couple days ago, but they didn't really make any. They didn't really talk about it that much. But the XFL, as of April 13th, filed for a Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Oh, shit.
So, Alpha Entertainment was who filed it, which is technically Vince McMahon's corporation. They listed, according to a source from ESPN, it listed the XFL with assets and liabilities, each in the range of $10 million to $50 million. And I also found out that I found out 2 things in that same process. Vince McMahon did not tell XFL officials about that they were going to file for bankruptcy. WWE officials knew about that way before XFL officials knew about it.
Oh, wow.
And I also saw that in those assets and liabilities, University of Houston is owed $300,000 by the XFL because they use their state. I believe they use a stadium. Yeah, U of H is owed $300,000 from the XFL. That's as of the Houston Chronicle. I read that the other.
Damn, dude.
And publicly, Vince McMahon has not spoken about the whole bankruptcy thing. I'm kind of shook because yes, he had a very successful WrestleMania in spite of all this happening, but I get that's his moneymaker, but you had a corporation filled with guys that had hopes and officials and a bunch of corporate corporate jobs. Everybody was lined up and ready, and
ba-
the stint didn't last as long.
and that's kind of sad, honestly.
I missed them already.
Like, Jade, I don't know if how big are you in sports? I know like the only organizations up there in Seattle are probably the Mariners and probably a WNBA.
They have a lot.
Correct?
I can't remember. To be honest with you, I'm not really a sports person.
They have the Mariners, Seahawks. They're getting
Seahawks.
they're getting an
Seahawks
NHL
are all
team.
things in the world.
I believe in 1 or 2 seasons.
And then hopefully if the NBA promises it, if they do happen to do it again, they bring a basketball team back to Seattle.
Interesting.
That was talks because they want to bring Seattle back in the picture. But that was talks from like 2 years ago after the Thunder got successful and they were like, "Oh, maybe we can bring a team back to Seattle." But yeah, I don't know how. I guess let me ask Tom. How do you feel about this whole the whole Chapter 11 bankruptcy for the XFL and who they owe? Because they owe a lot of people a lot of money. With the coaches being
honestly, I'm just really sad because I was really getting into the XFL more so than the NFL itself. I just like having like a football league, more like your everyday Joe, full of your more everyday Joes, not like these all these people all these I guess for an example Antonio Brown and all this they stir up all this drama, but what's it called? It just I was having hopes that maybe it would come back. I was definitely expecting it to last longer than the AAF, which didn't even finish out its season, and because they promised the fans, oh, we have enough money to be able to go to 2021, 2022. And everyone believed that, but it was just like, once the shit hit the fan because of the pandemic, guess that plan went down the toilet. So there's nothing left to show for it. And there's talks of ownership groups coming together to try and buy the XFL off of Vince McMahon. But, that's kind of the only hope I have left for the XFL returning. But
yeah, and that was another thing too was that the XFL is now for sale.
Fuck, dude.
So hopefully it comes back.
It's just crazy how one day it's all good, it's going well, and the next thing you know, it just disappears. Fuck. Well, that wraps up the sports time. I guess we're gonna get to another segment. I want you to guys tell me it's just one story. You guys can make it short and simple. Doesn't matter. But what is your most embarrassing moment and why? What happened? Let's start with Barnabas. What is your most embarrassing moment you ever experienced?
My most embarrassing moment. I can't tell you how many awkward scenarios that I've had. Well, there was this one time. I really don't want to point out any names, but this was a person who I used to see back in the day. Well, we were kind of doing the deed, right? Well, me and this girl, we just started talking. We barely know a single thing about each other. We just decided, hey, this is gonna be just a one-time thing. We're not gonna worry about it. We're just gonna do this, and it's gonna be done. And so, anyway, we're doing a bunch of we're doing a bunch of stuff, right? We're doing some stuff. Anyway, we're doing some stuff, right? And as I'm about to finish, I tell her hey, I'm about to finish, so just so you know, there's gonna be a giant explosion. You know how this works, right? And she goes, This bitch looks directly down the barrel as I'm climaxing. Just, I want to say about this liquid is shooting at, I want to say about a good 17 feet per second. Just this liquid just shooting straight out with some force to it. This thing's got some force. This thing shoots straight up in her eyeball. Stuff shoots straight in her eyeball.
Oh my god.
And then she immediately starts screaming in pain. And first thing I'm thinking is like, oh my god, what the hell just happened? Was it blood? Why is she screaming? And then she keeps screaming, ow. I'm like, ow. That's not right. If anyone should be saying ow, it's me.
Oh my god.
But I'm not saying ow. Why is she saying ow? And so anyway, she goes to the bathroom. She's in there for about 15 minutes. I'm like, what the hell just happened? What did I do? And then she comes out. She's covering her eye, and then she starts giggling really loud. I'm like, what happened? Are you okay? And then she told me that I got spoot in her eye. And
Oh Lord.
I don't know why I call it that. Yeah, it's safe to say we didn't talk for a week.
Okay.
Yeah, so I shot some semen into a girl's eye to where we didn't talk for a week. So what someone else got?
Joe, you're next. Damn, that is embarrassing.
Oh man, I can't even think about that. Let's see. I think it was freshman year of high school. I remember this. I passed out during 2-a-days. I passed out and I didn't realize what happened, and I woke up, and my friend started laughing at me. He's like, "You passed out for like 10 minutes." And I said, "What happened?" He said, "You woke up. You got some brown stuff hanging on your pants."
No.
Ugh.
No.
And our practice pants were white, so it was clear as day. And my football coach was like, "Son, did you shit yourself?" And I was like, "What?" And I'm looking at my coach, like, "Coach Kirksey, what are you talking about?" He said, "Son, do you not see the brown shit going down your legs?" I looked down, and sure enough, at practice. He's like, "Go to the field house and take a goddamn shower." I was like, "All right, cool."
Oh, I'm gonna head out.
I came back the next day.
I just shit my pants. All right, cool.
I came back the next day, and I had a note in my locker, and it was 2 rolls of toilet paper. It said, "Make sure you wipe next time, son." It says Coach Kirksey, and I'm like, "Oh my fucking
Did you get
God."
called Diary of a Dumpy Kid? Or some shit like that?
Diary of a dumpy kid.
And the sucky part about this was I played
Oh
center.
no.
My quarterback looked at me. He's like, "You showered before practice." I said, "Shut the fuck up. Just go for the ball."
God.
All right, Papa, how about you?
Oh my fuck.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of which one I should tell. I haven't shot spoot into a girl's face. I haven't shat myself recently.
Recently?
Recently.
I couldn't tell the other one. It's too personal.
Oh, I get you. I guess this would be. I guess it's embarrassing for me just because I like this type of situation. In a public restroom, what's it called? I hate when I have to take like a big deuce and there's people around and I know that like I need to hang on to like the handrails because there's about to be like a fucking upside down Pompeii in the next 2 seconds. And so I think, what's it called? I think everyone's gone. And like I hear the door like close because I thought the last person walked out. Well, apparently I didn't know that someone just walked in with them, like as the door was opening. So I didn't hear their fucking silent ass ninja footsteps. So I just say, "Fuck it, here I go," and I start ripping and shit. And then I just hear one voice just go, "Oh my fuck!"
So I started ripping.
Right. And then they asked me, I was just like, "Are you okay?" I'm just like, "Yep, please just go away." And they're just like, I was like, "All right, man, I'll give you like 2 minutes."
Bro, just start screaming.
I had my jacket on. I just had my jacket on, and I just like, I covered my face on the way out because I was just like, I can't fucking believe this.
Damn.
That's probably one of the more lighter stories I can tell.
Lot of-
The other one's really personal.
Man, that sounds shitty.
Hey, are you all right in there?
It's like, are you all right in there? Fucking bombing mission music commences. For any of you who play Final Fantasy,
Finish the mission. You're the only one left.
Play Final Fantasy VII. It's the first opening theme.
Have any of y'all? Okay, how about you, Jay? What's your most embarrassing story?
Sorry, wait, huh?
What's your most embarrassing? Sorry, lag.
Oh, sorry. No, I didn't catch you. Cut out. Sorry. I was
Yeah,
like, what?
sorry.
Okay. Wow, I can't top any of you. There's not. I got nothing. Okay. I'll tell you what happened to me the other day. It's not really even that embarrassing, but to me, it made me feel like a fucking idiot. So, basically, I'm gonna preface this little tiny story with the fact that, like, yes, I'm a weeb, but I also am doing way too much research into Japanese culture. So basically, what happened the other day is, I went to the grocery store, literally right over here by our apartment, and I walked in through the wrong door because they've been sectioning off the doors, one entrance, one exit because of COVID. And I didn't know that because I'd just been there the other day and it wasn't like that. So I walked in the wrong door and they don't have enough signs to tell you that it's the wrong door. And so this guy, one of the clerks, stops me and he's like, "Excuse me, sir." Basically, he's like, that door is exit only. Entrance one's over here with all the stuff that's going on, quote unquote. And he's like, "So can you just please make sure you go out that door and come in this door?" And I shit you not, I said, "Okay, sorry, thank you," and bowed to him.
Oh no!
I sat there, and I quickly straightened back up and then dashed to the aisle I was supposed to go to. And the whole time in my head, I'm like, that guy probably thought you were a fucking moron. What's wrong with you? Like, this guy's over here trying to tell me how, with the fucking the rules of the rules of the road, and I'm like, oh, go inside. Oh, you got to go down. And I'm fucking whatever, dude. Like,
oh shit, wrong country.
I'm like, wow, this guy probably thinks I'm a fucking moron. I don't. So whatever. So that's all I got. That's it.
I guess most of the time, it's those common embarrassments that you don't think about. Like if you're going to go see a movie and they hand you your ticket, you're like, "Thank you," and there's enjoy your movie, and you're like, "Thanks, you too."
Yes. Oh my god.
That's the type of shit that happens to me almost constantly. That shit happens. I wish they never did, but they always do. And
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tom.
Same thing when you get food. It's like, enjoy your food.
Enjoy your meal. Thanks, you too.
All right, Tom.
I'm just I'm not on my lunch break, dig.
Tom, what's your most embarrassing story?
See, I have very little shame, so I guess there's probably some embarrassing shit that I've. No, seriously. What's it called? There's some stuff throughout my life that I've probably done that's pretty fucking cringy, but I just kind of mentally blocked it out at this point. No, but I think probably one of the most cringiest things is my freshman year of high school. You probably might be able to recall this, but no, I don't think you've heard this one before, but I was part of a fucking love triangle, and me and this dude were fucking duking it out for a girl through Minecraft. Hell yeah, baby! Because nothing gets the shaft up just like the craft. And it was a fucking shit show. I don't know what the fuck ended up happening. Well, do I remember? No. Yeah, the other guy was like, "Fuck it, I'm out." And then I was just like, "You know what? Me too." And then I have no idea what happened to the other people ever again.
Oh my god.
All right, John, what's your most embarrassing story?
Okay, so in 8th grade, I was in art class, and we were doing this really major project, and so as we were doing a project, the night before, I ate a really bad meatball that I was supposed to eat. it was like food poisoning, right? And the next day, I was drawing this really big project. It was for like my dog, and mid class, everyone was like looking at me. I was like feeling sick. I was like, oh fuck, I gotta finish this project. I'm almost done with it. Then 2 minutes later, like as I was getting into it, I threw up all over my fucking art project. Some of my vomit got into my table partners. And they all looked at me, and I was just like, she's like, get him a trash can. And like, I was running to the trash can. I was throwing up as I was running to the trash can.
Oh, so you're just leaving a trail of vomit.
Yeah, and I felt so fucking embarrassed because all over my shirt, and then, like I came back the next day. And like my mom got mad at me. She's like, "What the fuck happened?" And I was like, "Mom, I fucking threw up." So how the fuck did you throw up? I was like, "It's like, what did you throw up?" "I threw up your fucking meatballs you cooked me last night." And she was like, "Fuck." And like I was really hungry because I was like food poisoning. So I ate a hot dog, and the next hour later I just threw that shit up. I was like, "Oh man, I can't eat anything." And then the next day,
oh my lord,
and like
Those are the worst.
yeah. And I guess 2 days later, I came back to school. People looked at me weird, and they were like, middle school is fucking tough. They start saying things about you. You're just like, oh fuck y'all. I threw up. So what? That's the most embarrassing story I ever experienced.
Yeah, that would be, especially in a judgmental place like middle school. Like, God, fuck middle school. Like, you could do literally anything, or you can do nothing. People will make fun of you for it.
Exactly.
It's the most judgmental place ever.
Exactly. Like, you can get made fun of for doing the right thing, or you can get made fun of for being smarter than everyone else.
You could be made fun of for doing literally nothing. I remember, just because I took a water bottle with me everywhere, just because, like, I was constantly thirsty. Like, sometimes they'd throw us in PE class, and sometimes the coach was a dickbag and didn't let us have water breaks, so I would sneak a water run. Well, people would find out that I carried one with me, and they would make fun of me and call me the water boy. And then they'd always make, the water boy movie with Adam Sandler. Those when I think it was I can't remember when that movie was made, but a lot of people were making it. They always say, "Hey, it's a water boy." I'm like, I don't get that reference. And I watched that movie in high school. I was like, those motherfuckers.
It's like when you get that joke like 5 weeks later. You're like, I don't get it, and then you're just like, fuck.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh my god. Okay, well, it looks like we are out of time for this episode. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, SoundWeebJay, for joining us on this episode.
Yes,
it was such a pleasure having you.
Thanks for having me. It was awesome.
Oh, not a problem. It's our pleasure having you on the show. We love inviting people on the show. We want to invite more people on the show.
Yeah, we hope we didn't scare you too much.
Yeah, we're overly friendly, but we're also a little creepy in some ways, in case you haven't noticed.
A little bit.
just a little creepy.
That's a confidence booster. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Next week we will have Ben Hemuth, founder of Gamercopia, on the next episode, and we look forward to having him as too. But thank you everyone for listening. This has been the Pickle Jar Podcast. I am Papa Sax Meritus.
I'm Barnabas McDick. I don't know. I'm Barnabas.
There you go. Next. Frack. There you go. Frack.
I avoid my taxes and I have penis flippers.
Joe Mama.
Great. All right, be sure to go check out SoundWeebJay's YouTube channel, youtube.com/SoundWeebJay. He has some great content, some great video game covers, and he's one hell of a clarinetist. Jay, is there anything you want to tell our lovely audience that you may be working on, what you have going on in your life?
Actually, I'll give you a quick little insight. I actually just today I'm getting ready to put together a Final Fantasy VII cover album, because I just played the remake and it made me really in the mood to cover some stuff. So I've gathered a couple musicians and we're gonna do a cover album soon.
That's awesome. I'm actually looking forward to that. Yeah, I have still yet to play the game. It is sitting right in front of me. But All right, thank you guys so much, and we will see you all next time on the Pickle Jar podcast. Goodbye, everyone.